and dragons. Time of magic, age of might. A band of heroes step up to the fight. Playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, fantasy, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers only know curse. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Let's listen with our ears. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons.
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical, bard of all trades and master of fiery balls. In real life, I write a bunch of different things, including Quincy Harker Demon Hunter, Bubba the Monster Hunter, and the Black Knight Chronicles, but my newest release, co-written with E.M. Kaplan, is the long-awaited, never-ever requested The True Confessions of Fandingo the Fantastical, so you can learn where the stupid name came from. So get out there and order that shit in ebook and paperback.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassey. I played Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author in the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road can be found from Angry Robot Books in all places books are sold. And I am the author of such non-existent titles as Why Is Your Hand That Color? Please, no, God, why is it that color? Oh God, your hand is a spider.
Hi everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play the mysterious Arrow of the Gods. Don't worry, Silas Kane is safe. In real life, I write several things, but the two newest things that you should care about are, one, Everyday Horrors, Bill of the Dead is out on audio now. Go check that out. And possibly more importantly, I have this month's shingles, The Incredible Jizz World.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I am the author of the Caverns and Creatures series of novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name is Steve Wetherill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, sexually attractive monk and wrestler of overly friendly tentacles. In real life, I write a comedy fantasy series, Doomsayer Journeys, available from Falstaff Books. Go check that out.
Hey everybody, I am the time fragment of Drew Hayes, who has jumped back through the time stream to tell you how amazing Authors and Dragons Con 2020 is, August 14th and 16th at the Inn and Opryland, Nashville. But, while I'm here, I'll also DM the game and plug a book or two, what the hell. Such as my newest audiobook, Underqualified Advice and Other Amusing Diversions, narrated by the tremendously talented Kirby Hayborn, which is out right now. Or you could just pick up the next tremendously talented Kirby Hayborn audiobook with Drew Hayes as the writer, Fred the Vampire Accountant number 6, Undeading Bills, coming on February 28th. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were gloriously fleeing from danger.
Backwards attacking.
Attacking backwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get that right.
We're charging into the next battle.
Right.
It's a reverse offensive.
No, you're directly offensive.
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
All right, so you have successfully navigated away from the wave pools. You get past the dead tentacles, and you manage to sail far enough away before the giant rising shadow breaks through. As you all are sailing away, a storm begins to rage, and big peals of rain are coming down behind you, obscuring the sight. But oh boy, something big came out of that water. You can really only see shadows, but you're really glad you're gone.
I will just assume that, that was an island of the gods, and, well, they obviously worship the wrong ones.
Yeah, that huge shadowy monstrosity is sure lucky we're sailing in the opposite direction.
And I want perception checks from everybody who is not Klaus Richter.
Arrow of the Gods gets an 18.
Fandingo gets a 22.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 16.
Bjorg Bjornsson gets a 5.
All right, so everybody except Bjorg notices something zip overhead real fast and hears a cartoonish whistling sound. And you can all just, while Bjorg's not paying attention, Fendingo and everybody just kind of scoots away from the clear shadow descending upon the deck. But luckily it does not come down near Bjorg, it just lands with a thud. Boom! A big, gleaming chest of some sort, and then, seconds later, with a loud kersplash, Klaus Richter.
Oh, dear.
Holy crap. That explosion must have been massive.
Cool, a present. And Klaus.
What happened?
We got a chest here. Let's focus here, guys.
I don't understand.
My ship seems to have unanchored itself and drifted away. It's... Oh, shit. Hello, guys.
There's a chest in the middle of the deck here where nobody is paying the fuck attention to you.
Can Bjorg see the chest at this point, or?
Yeah, the slamming of the giant object onto the deck. There's a crack in a crater, sort of where it landed. It's a very lucky thing this is a magic reinforced ship.
Fair enough.
Klaus is alive. Oh, look, a box.
Does it say anything on the box about scorpions?
There is writing on the box.
What do I need to roll to read the writing on the box?
First off, what languages does Fendingo speak?
Fendingo speaks Common, Elven, and Halfling.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, hey, Bjorg. Klaus is in the water if you want to, throw a rope or something.
How did he get there?
Who cares?
You cannot read it.
Brandon, it doesn't say anything about scorpions. You should open it.
Bjorg is going to throw Klaus a rope.
Thank you.
How about Dwarven? Is it in Dwarven?
All right, Bjorg, you can throw Klaus a rope. The ship is moving fairly brisk, but we'll just give it to you. You can haul Klaus up while everyone's ignoring and looking at the box. No, not Dwarven.
Gnomish? I got Gnomish. Believe I've mentioned that.
No Gnomish. Gnomish saw you through a lot, but not this time.
Is it orc or giant?
Nope.
All right, then it's just stupid words. Open it.
Is it jive?
I think there's a bit of serendipity going on here. We should probably let Klaus open it.
Hell no. I want somebody that's way easier to dupe out of their money to open it.
Well, presumably Klaus was exploded into the stratosphere and has only just landed. And this box came with him. Now, I'm not a scientist, but to me, this entire process seems very scientific.
I am a rogue. I could check it for traps.
With your face.
Yeah. I'm going with Fandingo's plan.
All right, I'll get right up in there and, okay, looks like it's trap-free. Arrow of the Gods, have at it.
How are you alive?
That's not specifically related to your arriving here. That's just a general question.
Fair one, too.
Well, fortunately, Arrow of the Gods does not fear, boxes or scorpions or boxes with scorpions. So Arrow will...
That's your mistake.
We'll pull it, we'll open it.
The chest is not open.
Just like to
Okay,
make sure everybody caught that I didn't actually roll to check for traps.
Yes, listeners, in case you're not watching this on the YouTube stream, youtube.com/authorsanddragons, you would not have seen that he definitely did not roll. just walked up, pretended to look, walked away.
And if you're not watching the map, then you have got exactly as much in common as the rest of the players. So.
Fendingo's going to use his glove of mage hand and try to open the lock. Is there a lock on the chest?
There is no visible lock upon the chest.
Then Fendingo's going to try to open it with his glove of mage hand.
It does not open.
I'm not sure what's more disappointing here. Klaus or this useless box. Klaus, we've just give you a heroic send-off because we assumed you died heroically. You've been just fucking about in the sky all this time, apparently.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you consider anyone else's feelings?
Well, when the gods give you the power to fly, you take advantage of it for as long as you can.
You have the
What
power to
did you
fly.
jizz on this time?
We know what happened. You died, and then you came flying back, except this time you missed one of us.
I didn't have to jizz again. This is still the same powers as before. From the altar.
Man, I gotta rethink this celibacy thing.
If only I had jizzed on a random slab of concrete in the sewer.
It's kind of what we're all thinking right now.
I'm not.
All right. Fuck it. I'll try to open the... Fendingo will try to open the chest.
Still sealed.
Bjorg will try.
Okay. Same result.
I don't think it can open.
Thing no give. It feels like it's one solid piece, even though you can see visibly that there is a seam and everything. Like this is meant to open, but whenever you handle it, it feels like it's just one chunk.
Bjorg is kind of going to dejectedly poke it with his toe.
We could ask Gordon, but he's currently in useless goblin form.
Is it frozen? Is it covered in ice? Let me investigate the chest.
Okay. Roll me an investigate.
Fendingo rolls a 20.
Okay, so you pay a lot of attention, and you start noticing some details. One, the writing on it is clearly magical. It's kind of glowing in the reflection of the gleaming surface. And so, it's not even etched or written onto it. It's just still part of this flawless visage. Two, you do not know what this metal is. You've seen a lot of metals. You've been around enough, battle and whatnot that you know the basics: steel, bronze, iron, etc. You've even seen some mithril here and there, but this is not anything you're familiar with. So you wouldn't even know how to go about breaking into it. But the one other thing you definitely get is if it's a magic chest made of a metal, the thing that is protecting is made of a metal that you've never even seen. Only imagine what value is inside.
You've just guaranteed that there's dick all inside.
Yeah. But if nothing else, if you can get the chest chopped up or something, super strong metal is worth money.
How about a knowledge arcana check to see if I can recognize or read the language?
I will give you a knowledge arcana to try and place the language. Unless, we don't have bard thing or anything.
That's a 15.
It is not any of the standard languages that you encounter. You see those enough to know it is not common, dwarven, elven, giant, gnomish, goblin, halfling, or orc.
Divine, demonic. We've seen some demons.
You've seen some demons. Have you? But I don't think you speak infernal or anything like that.
I mean, I could. If you hum a few bars, I'll fake it.
Yeah.
Divine would make sense. Our dead friend has just plummeted from the sky, along with this box, with potentially either demonic or divine writing on it.
I know which side of that question I'm coming down on, but
Yeah, I was thinking angel there, but then I thought Klaus.
If anyone who has knowledge of religion, you can't use this one untrained, but if you have that box checked, you can roll a knowledge religion to try and discern which side the language came from.
Oh, definitely not.
Let's talk to our religious expert.
Oddly enough, the Arrow of the Gods does not have that box checked.
Okay.
that's not
Does anybody else?
Wait a minute, do I get religion as part of being a monk? I don't have it checked, so presumably
You
not.
had it as an option, it was one of the things you could have chosen. I'm guessing you put your talents elsewhere.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah.
Can I lift it?
You may. It is very heavy.
Hey, Bjork, you should tie
Yeah.
this to your back and carry it around. It might be worth something.
Or just around the boat?
Well, you're the one telling everybody to exercise more.
Oh, there. Yeah, good point.
implying that exercise is my problem?
Yeah, Bjork already has pretty massive quads.
But they could be bigger.
Whereas I'm barely sure you have legs.
Did you learn nothing from the sewer of the many fists?
Bjork, help me put this box on Fendingo.
The fuck you say?
Bjorg is going to pick up the box. All right, gonna build the strong legs.
Cue Benny Hill music.
All right, so Bjork is doing squats with the box. Why don't we store the box below decks.
Why don't we, I don't know, knock out Klaus and wake up Gordon?
I'm not sure Klaus can be knocked out.
I'm willing to try.
I think he may be immortal / indestructible / able to
I
fly.
vote against that plan. I say we go somewhere and kidnap a priest or something, and like a proper one that can, has knowledge of religion.
Yes, let's kidnap a priest. That is absolutely bound to not cause trouble.
Honestly, it's not even a blip on y'all's moral spectrum at this point.
I mean, it's not the worst idea, but maybe we could ask first.
Ask first, kidnap later. That does seem more moral.
Oh, I didn't care about that. I just didn't want to have to fight anything. It's pure cowardice on my part, not morals.
I was gonna give him back.
Oh, well then fuck it. Let's go kidnap a priest.
Yeah, well, we don't have a Silas. Presumably he died at some point.
That's our Brandon, always looking on the bright side.
I think he stayed behind on that island heroically, battled to the death. But I'm sure he's safe.
He's on that island that's been devoured by a huge shadowy beast. He's safe.
He'll find a way to fuck up dying.
Including our own nemesis, the horse.
Brandon will look uneasily at the sky, half expecting a Silas to rain down as well.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that horse, guys?
It is our enemy. We created it. One day we will have to destroy it.
I leave you fuckers alone for like a week. And
Technically speaking, it wasn't really our fault.
Perhaps if the rest of you weren't such big cowards, we would have found out.
Excuse
You
you.
can go back.
The thing offered me immortality and power, and I said no, because fuck that. I'm not being a slave to some horse.
So you ran instead. Okay.
No, I didn't run. Wait, just now?
you,
You all ran just now. You are
Oh,
in the
yeah,
act of
that.
running away right now.
No. The Arrow of the Gods escorted them. Escorted them to safety.
I ran.
No, that's still running.
All right, so where are we going next?
I don't know.
We should tell the boat where we're going.
Bjorg is going to look at his evil compass.
Pointing directly at us.
Hey, this is about the point when I think you guys might realize that you just sailed away with no bearing or heading or destination entered into your magic ship.
I'm inclined to believe Klaus, despite the fact that he can't even convincingly die. We should probably go tell someone that we just saw the afterlife explode. I mean, this seems... I don't know, maybe we can just deal with it.
The
But
fuck?
perhaps
It does seem
we
important.
want to inform authorities of some kind.
Judge Hungry.
Maybe show them the box. Tell them we were kind of heroic, but in a,
It's
in the opposite direction, heroic.
it's unimportant. I have it on good authority that none of the important aspects of the afterlife blew up. Just the garbage ones.
Still, this...
Does any of this notifying preclude us continuing to run away?
Perhaps we could go back to Caldern and tell this all to Judge Hungry.
I'm all for making this somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
That dude scares me.
He seems jovial.
On the other hand, being back in a city would be kind of nice, especially
Yeah.
for a caped crusader such as myself.
Oh,
That
hey,
ain't-
I know where we should go. Wherever it was that I hired a guy to make me a new a crossbow grappling mechanism thing.
Can we throw him back overboard?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely Klaus then. It's not some kind of angel disguised as Klaus. Nobody else has this shitty priorities.
As you guys discuss all the places you'd like to go, you continue to drift aimlessly in the ocean because you still have no way to direct the ship.
Look, it's the ocean. We've drifted probably like 20 feet in the time we started this conversation.
Oh no, you are blazing. You ran away from that island.
Bjorg is going to the steering wheel, and he's going to poke it,
All
and
right,
he's going to say, Caldern,
nothing changes.
how do you steer this ship?
Hey, Shitberg, take us to Caldern.
Remember the magic map that had all the destinations pre-entered? He's like, okay, you can use these and etc. You guys never actually got a compass or learned to sail or anything, did you?
Nope.
No.
All right.
I did take a thingy in Mariner, but that was mostly for just fighting like a sailor.
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you guys take a night's rest because your hit points could use it,
As could our spells.
as could your spells. You're tapped out. It's an end of a day. Y'all can break once you realize that The ship is going where it's going.
Sure.
Hope for the best.
We should probably set up a watch so we don't smash into an iceberg or something.
Well, we clearly can't alter the course, so fuck it. Let's go to sleep.
The Arrow of the Gods will take a watch.
Hey, Shitberg, stop.
The sails begin to slanken, and it goes dead. But you still are moved by the waves and everything. It can't control the ocean. Now you're just adrift of the currents.
Hey, Shitberg, drop anchor.
Is it that important that we stop?
Shitberg, take us to Caldern.
Okay, you hear the clank of a chain hitting the water, but there's no anchor attached because you guys tore away so fast you ripped it off.
Oops.
That's a good point.
It's like magical Alexa boat.
Now we're just shouting random useless commands at it.
Shitberg, take us to Caldern.
Calgon, take me away. All right, I'm going to go below and go sleep.
Bjorg will take a watch.
All right.
Arrow of the Gods
The
will
ship-
take a watch.
I'm gonna sleep above deck under the stars.
That's why I went below.
Feeling good. I just had a wash.
I do have a few things I'd like to do on my watch.
Uh-oh.
Are you gonna jizz on something in concrete?
I mean, there's so much evidence to suggest that's a good idea. Not sure what to believe anymore.
I mean, and Klaus is technically sleeping on deck, and I mean, jizzing on him would be kind of almost the same as jizzing on that rock.
I disagree.
You're asleep. Nobody's asking your opinion.
All right. What's the arrow jizzing on?
Well, no, the Arrow's not going to jizz on things. One, he definitely wants to finish his new mask from that cloth of the gods he found, and two, I want to use those magical toenail clippings and goblin teeth to decorate my bow with.
All right. Roll
That's
me
disgusting.
a... God, what have we been using for crafting checks? Survival?
Yeah,
Yeah. Survival.
I mean, Klaus seems to be the goddamn all-star at that right now.
An 18.
Okay, you can successfully make that horrible amount of stuff into decor.
Excellent.
You have disadvantage on all charisma-based checks. You have successfully created a horror show.
I assumed he already had disadvantage on all charisma-based checks.
Who's going to fuck with a guy holding a bow that is covered in toenails and goblin teeth?
You're absolutely right.
Maybe goblins.
Maybe the guard, deeply concerned, and rightfully so. All right. So everybody, make sure you adjust your character sheets or character tokens. Get your hit points and your key points and your respective points up.
How many points do we get? Hit points, that is?
Full.
Oh.
Yep. If you guys ever remembered that short rests are a thing, you would regain half of your maximum, but you never use them, so you guys are always pretty topped off.
Don't get spells back in a short rest. Don't care.
Yeah, but you get hit points back.
I don't fight.
Very true. Okay, so the next day rolls around, and you guys are still at the mercy of the ocean. Did you want to re-engage the sails, or are you just going to drift?
Shitberg, raise anchor.
The chain that still doesn't have an anchor on it comes up.
Shitberg, take us to Caldern.
The 15th time still doesn't work.
I'm going
Bjorg isn't
to
smart.
open up the magical map.
Okay, it is showing a question mark.
Oh, okay. Time for the boat guy to do the boat thing.
Oh, God.
Brandon Firemaster is going to, I guess, try and remember what direction the island we were heading from was from the previous island we were at, where the wizard was, and use that to try and get some bearing on our position by looking at the position of the sun. Now, I realize I've just put a lot out there, so I'm going to assume that's a really high roll.
I mean, roll me a survival. Basically, what you're trying to do is figure out what direction you're currently drifting based on the position of the sun.
Yes, sounds simple, but
Yeah, that's pretty doable.
we'll see how it goes. Natural one.
All right. You are pretty sure, actually, it's the moon you have to check. So you plant your feet and say, nope, this is no good. We have to wait until sunset to figure out which way we're going.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the sun is kind of like on the opposite side of the moon, so I don't want us going backwards. Otherwise, we'll just end up where we were. obviously.
Obviously.
So, yeah, let's just keep heading until we find the moon and go from there.
That's good ship science.
Are there any tentacle bits left on deck?
No, to be honest, we painted a pretty graphic picture of Brandon exploding the shit out of that one into goo. We really went for it there.
It's tentacle sauce,
Oh god.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah, that's not very helpful. Just wanted to look for something to further adorn the puppet I made before that is no use now. I was going to make it as a friend for that dude whose other friend died, but now it could be our friend.
If you want, I can command the sea creatures to jump on board so that you may mutilate their bodies and use them as puppets.
Wait
how
till
about
something
no?
comes along. Well, we're going to need to eat sooner or later.
Yeah, we did not stock up on any supplies.
All I've got is this big-ass egg.
Look at the horizon and see if we see any islands or birds.
We are not eating Brandek.
All right, everybody, give me perceptions. You guys haven't even figured out how to crack into Brandek.
Fendingo rolls a 22.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 9.
Arrow of the Gods rolls a 5.
Klaus Richter rolls a 22.
Bjorg rolls a 19.
Okay, man. So Fendingo and Klaus. There is no land anywhere on the visible horizon that you can see, but the both of you do catch sight of just off to, say, a direction. You don't really have bearing on compass rose, but in a direction you see, there are seabirds. You can just kind of make out like a few rogue seabirds. And so if there are seabirds, then there has to be something for them to land on somewhere-ish. So that direction is your best bet.
I can use the beaks.
All right. No idea which way is north or whatever. Shipberg, turn to the west.
No response.
Shipberg, set sail west. Starboard.
All right, now when you say starboard, it begins to move. It
Okay,
begins
is it
to
moving?
begins to turn.
Is it moving toward or away from the birds?
We'll say toward for
Okay.
convenience.
When Shipberg is lined up with the birds, Shipberg, stop.
Stops.
Shipberg, unfurl sails and full speed ahead.
All right, unfurl sails and full speed ahead.
Nobody else talk to the boat.
All right, so you all set sail. You go through the day. As midday afternoon wears around, you begin to catch sight of something far off in the distance, and as the hours pass by, it becomes more clear. It is land. You have managed to see some. So as you are going, sort of without warning, suddenly the Shitberg begins to slow down as it runs into a sandbar about 100 feet offshore.
Shipberg, stop.
It kind of beat you to it, but the sails refurl and the chain drops down useless.
Yeah. That's what I meant to happen.
Also, Fendingo, you rolled a good perception, and what the hell? We'll just give this one to you. Since you had the magic map out, the question mark is gone.
What's on it now?
It just says recalibrating. And there's like an arrow kind of spinning around.
It's probably waiting for the moon to come up.
So,
Maybe we should just hang out.
Looks like it's getting your location, but it might take a while.
Is there like a lifeboat to take the shore, or?
Yeah, there's lifeboat. It's also 100 feet. You can just swim it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what does the island look like? And is there anything on the beach that wants to kill us?
Well, I am funny you should ask that. So let's get perception checks while I move you guys to the next map.
Okay, I was so expecting to hear those roll initiative words.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a natural 20.
Arrow of the Gods rolls a 16.
Bjorg rolls another 19.
Fendingo rolls 12.
Klaus rolls a 17.
Fendingo is very pleased with himself for getting us this far.
Check to see if there's anything that wants to eat us or anything we can eat.
Okay, so I've moved you now to the new map, as you can see. There is a beach. So let's go down the line. Everybody beat 10. You can all see a beach, what looks like a pier, and a few tie-ups for small boats, although there are no boats there currently. There are some rocks, sort of. There's a lot of sand, a lot of stuff. You can kind of see it reaches in and out. It would be hard to sail closer. There are the trees represent sort of where a tree line turns into a forest. It gets thicker past there, but it's still kind of thin and sporadic to that point. Yeah, man. Oh, man. With the natural 20. Whew. Brandon Thighmaster, you pick out signs of life. Like, you see, like, the remains of a fire. Like, it's long smothered out in the sand, but you still see it. You see sort of tracks around, like maybe stuff was dragged. So obviously there's huts here, but this is not like an old abandoned one. You have a hunch that people have been using these.
Well, it looks like signs of civilization. We can probably trade or kidnap a priest or whatever it is civilized people do.
All right. Shipberg, wait here. Don't go anywhere.
Gordon, look after Brandegg.
Shall we take the ship, or let's take the boat?
I'm gonna swim. It looks cooler.
Oh,
Bjorg will
I'd
also
rather
swim.
I'll take the dinghy in.
Yeah, I'm on the boat.
Yeah,
I'm on the boat, bitch.
Arrow will stand on the prow of the boat just to look awesome for anybody who's from the beach who's watching. As he proudly holds his bow of many toenails.
All right.
God.
So let's see here.
What a horrifying image.
All right. So our boat folk were... Okay, so we had Klaus was in the dinghy, Arrow of the Gods, Brandon Thighmaster was swimming, Fandingo and Bjorg, where would you go?
Bjorg was going to
Dinghy.
swim as well.
Okay, and Fandingo was in the dinghy. Okay.
This is also a good time for me to kind of get rid of that tentacle goo.
Yeah, it's a good saltwater scrub.
Definitely need to moisturize later.
I bet Klaus will help with that if you ask real nice.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not going to do that either.
I don't believe either of you.
Get off at the dock, I guess.
Swim to the dock.
Walk behind everybody.
Swim to the beach. I wish to emerge like Daniel Craig.
You're dressed appropriately for that scene.
That's funny. I was thinking about doing my hair like Bo Derek in 10, so... Similar.
It's a perfect combination.
Similar thoughts.
So y'all can get off onto here. Okay. Is anybody making any effort to move with covertness, or are y'all just doing the usual?
Doing the usual.
I haven't left the boat, so
Striding ahead like I own the place.
Okay.
Yep.
Then
Ditto.
I want perceptions from everybody.
I mean, my idea of covertness is I haven't been playing our theme song.
That is your
As-
idea of covertness.
Yeah. Fendingo rolls a 10.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 6. Got a bit of salt water in the eye there.
Bjorg rolls a 13.
Klaus rolls a 20.
Arrow of the Gods gets a 3.
Okay. This
Probably
is
got a fucking toenail clipping in his eye or something gross.
yeah. This is going to be an interesting one. So Brandon Thighmaster and Arrow of the Gods, you both turn and kind of look back at the ocean. You're just sort of admiring the majesty of what you have escaped. And so you don't see anything at all. So Fandingo and Bjorg, you can notice out of the hut in the back, a giant green octopus steps out.
What?
Oh, God.
And you can notice that it has like several chunks of wood wrapped up in its tentacles. And Klaus, you also notice that one tentacle has a hammer and other appears would have to be nails. Turning to look at its hut, almost as if assessing for repairs before noticing you all and letting out a high-pitched squeal. After which,
Are we supposed to get... Oh.
another one comes out of a different hut. This one does not have anything in its hands. Or tentacles, I should say. So, the only ones who have the ability to react to this are the ones who saw it. That's Fandingo, Bjorg, and Klaus.
Klaus will duck down in the boat a bit and keep watching.
It's a bold opening move.
Hey, Arrow? Why don't you stay right here on the dock and protect us from anything that may be coming at us from the ocean?
Sounds like an excellent idea. There are many threats.
Bjorg, come with me and try to keep me from dying.
You don't exactly make it easy. Bjorg will follow Vendingo.
I'm going to go try and talk to an octopus.
I know what you're doing.
I'm not going to try to fuck the octopus.
I'm not saying... I didn't say... God!
I mean, it's assumed a little bit.
I mean, not like until I've talked to it, at least.
Well, it's always good to know that your hypothetical octopus fucking involves consent.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't ever try to assault something with 8 fucking arms and a hammer.
You don't know it has a hammer. Only I do.
That's true.
That's fair.
So
All right.
go ahead and try to assault it.
And as many teeth as an octopus typically has. So Fendingo's going to walk forward with his hands open and out, showing that he's holding no weapons.
Oh, the bard has no weapons. Thank God. If he had, a dagger, he'd really intimidate.
The green octopus begins to set down some of its boards. The black octopus moves closer very slowly, not fast on land, obviously, to his buddy, raises a tentacle and points it directly at you, Finn.
I'm going to wave at it.
What brings you to this island?
You hear in your head.
We got lost.
You need help?
Yes. We're not here to do anything untoward and stuff.
Oh my God, don't open with that.
Despite what the guy in the mask might say, and ignore the other half-elf, he really can't help it. And just don't listen to the bald guy. You just talk to me and the big guy.
Hello.
Fendingo, give me a knowledge arcana check.
That's a 10, knowledge arcana.
Okay. Yeah, then another pause, and you hear in your head again.
You have come to a good island. We have a great mage here. He can help you.
And you're not going to try to, I don't know, eat my face or anything?
It lets out a horrifying noise, honestly. Just true nightmare fuel. Like a seagull being run through a wood chipper underwater. And somehow it's laughing.
I look over at the other guys and I'm like, that's not as scary a noise as you think it is.
Was that telepathic, or do we all hear
Oh,
that?
no, that's the actual... That's why it's horrifying, is it's an actual octopus on land cackling.
Don't freak out. It's a good octopus.
And then you hear in your head again...
You are not a native prey of the octopus.
Good.
That is good to know.
And I'm really hoping you're not in the mood for something exotic. Because I'm telling you, stringy half-elf, it's as bad as you think it'll taste.
I've got to admit, I'm probably delicious, but don't eat me anyway.
Remember when I said don't listen to the bald guy? Stick with the don't listen to the bald guy.
Well, this is encouraging.
How do we find this great mage?
The pause and points the tentacle at you.
He lives deep within the island. We shall summon him for you.
Oh.
And then you hear it chittering in octopus to its comrade. And then the other one goes and starts ripping branches down from trees. As the other one continues to explain.
We'll light a signal fire. They shall come to us much faster.
They?
The great mage has many who he has aided.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Okay. I'm going to hang out right here on the end of the dock and not do anything Hey, do you have a name?
There's a long pause. And it just kind of like looks at itself and looks at its tentacles and then points at you. Octlock shall be fine.
All right. Octlock. I'm Fendingo. This is Bjorg. And ignore the other three.
I am Bjorg. I'm Brandon Firemaster. Don't ignore me.
Just pretend they don't exist.
I definitely exist. I might exist more than most people.
I was pretending I didn't exist, and you just fucking outed me.
Yeah.
Arrow's gonna finally head up to the docks, proudly displaying his...
Arrow, whatever you do, don't shoot the octopus.
I'm a little bit less enamored with the Arrow of the Gods since he covered himself in goblin teeth and toenails. I've got to admit. I'm not.
Well, see, the problem, Junior Adventure, is you lack this thing called style.
I don't know. I mean, I want to dig your sweet style, but there's something about it. Maybe the teeth and toenail element that's putting me off.
Well, see, that's what a hero is supposed to do. We're supposed to like strike fear into the hearts of our enemies. I mean, seriously, look at this fucking bow.
Yeah,
and tell me it doesn't terrify you.
It looks like you might catch something for it. It does terrify me.
If I had to eat it or something, or lick it.
I mean, I definitely don't want to touch it in any way.
So does Octlock's buddy have a fire built?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting to see if not to put the nose on it, but Rick was going to screw everything up.
I was going to say to see if we were going to shoot the fucking octopus.
You wound me deeply.
He knows you deeply,
but not as deeply as I'm about to wound this octopus.
Maybe this great mage could help us with our skybox. We should go. Oh crap! We didn't bring on the. Yeah.
Let's not show the great mage all our goodies. You gotta tease, Brandon. I know this is not what you do, because all your goodies are usually pretty much on display, but trust me.
I will try thinking at the octopus, can you hear me in my mind?
Ooh, gonna be a Lois Lane Superman moment.
Well, you think that in your mind. In the meantime, the green octopus has successfully built a signal fire that is roaring.
Are the seabirds still flying around?
There's not really many around here. Like, you caught a few in migration, but it's not like they're flocking. There's not a ton of food sitting here. Whatever part of the island they were going towards, this ain't it.
Yeah, we got a fire and we had birds. Bummer.
Been working very hard to convince everyone that we're not food.
If I see anything that's not like wielding a hammer, like food type animals.
Good news. From the ocean comes a blue octopus.
Jesus fuck. How many colors do you guys come in?
And in its various tentacles, there are captured fish and mollusks, and it begins to just grab sticks and spear them, and begins cooking up a feast.
Oh, well, I was going to do that, but hey, great.
You guys are guests.
We've seen your attempt at preparing food. Let's trust the sea monster.
Yeah, it's kind of right up there with your attempts at preparing clothing.
I genuinely did not know if this was going to be a fight or not. I feel like the fact that Arrow didn't win the perception might have tipped it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Hey, Klaus.
Yes.
Do you have any booze?
Yes.
If they're going to feed us, we should give them booze.
Well, you don't have any?
No. I didn't stay behind in the bar to steal all the booze while the shit was exploding. I ran away.
I don't think I have that booze. I mean, I don't think I've been carrying a giant mug around the whole time.
I feel like you've been stashing away things of
I've got
wine.
Yeah, I've got a couple of wine skins. I'll pass it to the octopi host.
Being that our hosts are nice and feeding us, the Arrow of Gods will try to to impress them.
Oh God!
He'll pull out his fish trident, smack it into the sand, and command the fish to beach themselves, so that we may feast upon them.
I've got a bottle of awesome liquor. I'm not giving that up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Arrow of the Gods, you summon several fish that are your friends and come to be with you and are betrayed and die on the sand, gasping.
I'm not sure what kind of message we're sending to these sea creatures here.
Well, they snap up the raw ones and just start going to town. It's horrifying. I mean, there's fish guts everywhere. An octopus eating on dry land is not going to be a pretty sight.
Bro, we travel with Klaus.
You know what the weirdest thing about this situation is? It's that maybe the Arrow of the Gods' horrible new image is actually working, because he seems to be, getting some diplomacy points here. There might be something to the goblin tooth fingernail look, after all.
It's possible. I also might not use giant octopuses as my standard of evaluation.
I just fed these motherfuckers. Let's see who they defend at the end of the day.
Literally anyone but you. Kinda always. Alright, fuck it, let's eat.
I agree. Fuck it, let's eat.
Okay. You guys tuck in. It's great. Food is fucking solid. I mean, it's fish cooked over an open fire by an octopus, so keep your expectations in line. But
That sounds amazing.
yeah,
It
pretty
sounds
pretty fucking tasty, all things considered.
I mean, the last place we were in that served food was just destroyed by demons. So, pretty fucking big upgrade.
It was also expensive as hell. Since
that
I'm
might have been
not
us.
like hiding anymore, I'm just going to come up and join the others.
Okay.
Oh, well, this worked out well. We're not starving to death in the ocean. We're having a merry feast with octopus people.
Hey, Octlock, do you think your mage can maybe make us an anchor?
He points at you with a tentacle. I'll give you one more knowledge arcana check on.
Wizards are not blacksmiths.
Yeah, Fendingo rolls a 12.
The great mage can do all things. He is wise beyond measure.
That's encouraging.
Look wise enough to set sail without, cutting the anchor.
I don't know if anybody's that wise, Rick.
I like the sound of this guy.
We didn't die. So,
So as they are passing the booze you give them around, you can note that the black octopus will take a drink, the green octopus will take a hearty drink, and the blue octopus will pass. I don't know if anyone cares about that, but it's the way it happens.
I guess we know who the cool octopus is.
Why do you not partake? If I may ask.
The black octopus points at you, Bjorg, and you hear in your head,
He has taken a vow to keep his body pure.
Brandon.
I'm going to help him out. I'm going to hand the blue octopus some Torag tracks.
Oh, God.
it eats them like it did the fish you summoned.
Thank God it,
Yeah.
it didn't read them.
He seems to be going really well.
And then it starts doing push-ups.
This is like Octopus Thigh Master.
Octothigh Master.
Octopus Master.
I don't think we can use that one.
Hey, Octlock, you like rock and roll?
Again, it kind of tilts its head and sort of takes a long time to respond. Points at you.
Perhaps. Why don't you show us?
So, I think it's a good time to... we'll start off slow. I'm thinking we start off with Wish You Were Here. It's got a good little guitar intro. It's pretty mellow.
I was definitely expecting Rock Lobster, but
That's Fandingo. Just when you think he's going to zig, he zags.
yeah. While he's doing that, I'm going to do some push-ups with this octopus here. Probably more push-ups than it's doing, even though I've got less arms.
When you start doing push-ups, it kind of looks at you, and then two of its 8 arms go up.
Oh.
And it continues doing push-ups.
All right, well, if Brandon's going to throw down, then we're going to have to switch into Eye of the Tiger.
Brandon switches to fingertip push-ups.
The octopus lifts another 2 legs. It's now got 2 up and 2 down.
Oh my.
It's okay. I know how you can show him who's boss, Brandon. Fendingo will sit on Brandon's shoulders.
Ooh, octopus goes up to it's down. It's got 2 tentacles down, 6 in the air, and it's kind of got like a few shakes as it's going down, but it's still pounding them out.
How can we switch this up?
Come on, Klaus.
One-handed. One-handed, 2 fingers with a bird on the back.
Okay, he's gonna have to roll for this one. I can't just give him this next one. All right,
That sounds like a sex.
doesn't it though?
Oh, shit.
All right, with an 18, the blue octopus lifts up onto a single tentacle, balancing the weight of its body like up in the air like a star, and it does a solid 10 one-tentacle push-ups before dropping to the ground.
I don't have anything else I can balance on that isn't obscene.
Wait, I got a good one. Start doing push-ups.
I didn't stop doing push-ups.
All right, as he does push-ups, as he pushes up and does his clap, I'll shoot an arrow beneath him.
And I'm going to switch into playing Thunderstruck.
Roll an attack.
Okay. Oh god.
You realize I'm trying to purposely miss him, right?
This is. Oh, are you shooting for the octopus?
No, I'm shooting beneath Brandon to try to make it look cool.
I know. That's why we're seeing if you natural one.
28.
You do not. It goes perfectly.
Excellent.
Brandon, you receive a blue tentacle attempting to shake your hand.
I shrug off Vandingo and do the Temple of the Many Fist handshake, which is kind of like a polite lack of a handshake because, you can't touch me.
The octopus simulates a fist bump.
There you go. Simulated fist bumps all the way. Good vibe.
I would like to pull out my member and do like an interpretive greeting dance with only 5 limbs.
It was going so well.
I'm trying to relate to these people.
I'm almost certain
people.
this is offensive in any fucking society.
Did you just you people a fucking bunch of cephalopods?
You people like dicks, right?
I will just point out, Fandingo, when next time you look at me funny.
Way to vertebrae splay.
Octlock, I'm sorry. We tried to leave him. And we thought he was dead. This is what happens when half-elves go to heaven, I guess. They come back worse.
We still have no explanation for why he is here.
Yeah, I love that the listeners know, but you guys don't.
We just assume that weird shit's gonna happen. I mean, we just had essentially a dance-off with a blue octopus. And nobody batted an eye. Because that's our fucking lives, man.
If anything, it's one of the better nights you guys have had in a while.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't insulted a Minotaur bartender. There are no demons, and we're not covered in any form of feces or tentacular remains.
We're doing all right until the Klaus got his dick out.
I nobody's responded to this.
Yeah, they don't seem to really notice or care. It is entirely possible that to them it's just more mammal flesh.
It's just a sad little tentacle.
Your dick is only sad mammal flesh.
It's I don't know, considerable. I rolled for that.
You did, but they're also giant octopuses.
Oh,
so scale.
All right, if they're not accepting my greeting, fine. I'll put it away. I tried. That's all you can do.
I was going to eat more fish, but I'm totally fucking off my feed now.
Oh, win-win. Okay.
I think these octopuses might be the most successful encounter with civilization we've had.
Yeah, pretty sound.
It's a good day.
Gotta surprise the listeners every once in a while. Can't piss off every fucking intelligent creature we meet.
For a while, it felt like you were trying.
I mean, every intelligent creature minus one.
Last episode, we brought destruction on an entire island. This episode, octopus party.
Look, I'll credit where it's due. Like, you guys own a lot of blame for a lot of shit. It's hard to put the entirety of that last one on you.
fuck it. We'll take it. I mean, fuck it. Who cares? At this point, it's not like our reputation's getting any worse.
If it's 8 hours from the last disaster, then Brandon has already reconfigured what happened in his head so that he looks like the hero anyway. So, as far as he's concerned, it's all good.
So, where's this mage?
Black Octopus will point at you.
He will arrive in time. He is an important man with much to do, but he always comes when called.
Yeah, wizards are never early, they're never late. Heard that one before. All right.
So the evening is kind of setting on. Would you guys like to rest? The fire is burning. You're adequately warm. The Black Octopus offers you use of their huts if needed.
Ron Weasley, Jeremy, and I are going to continue eating while we have the chance.
Fendingo's gonna tell anybody who wants to cluster around within 10 feet of him that he's gonna cast Tiny Hut and hide for 8 hours.
Brandon has one last wineskin. He'll pass that around the fire.
Bjorg will partake of wine.
Arrow of the Gods will park himself on the beach so as to guard the lesser adventurers among us.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I bet would make my puppet more adorned. Seashells.
Yeah, if you want to roll me a perspective for seashells, I bet you can find some.
God, that is the
Perception,
best
not perspective.
possible thing he could have said.
Let's see, where was that?
Seashell Flesh Puppet sounds like a hard rock band.
Klaus rolls a 17.
Oh, yeah. 17. You can definitely find some seashells.
Yeah, Fendingo's gonna make a purple tiny hut and
Nope.
rest.
Okay. What does Tiny Hut do again for the listeners?
For the listeners, Tiny Hut casts a 10-foot radius dome of force for 8 hours. Up to 9 creatures, medium size or smaller, can fit inside. If you start the spell inside the hut, you can move in and out freely. I can't, or the spell will end. It's always comfortable and dry inside my tiny hut, and I can make it dimly lit or dark. It's opaque from the outside, and it's any color I want, but is transparent from the inside. So I'm making it deep purple and dimly lit.
All right. Did anybody join in the hut with Fendingo?
Sure, Bjorg will.
What, in his dimly lit purple love hut? No, I'll just stay by the fire, thanks.
I'm busy.
You out, you in, and Arrow said he was planting himself away. So Bjorg and Fendingo are the only ones in the hut.
And Bjork can go in and out of the hut as he pleases.
Okay. You have some in the hut, not pizza, just the regular.
Nice.
The night wears on. You all can begin to sleep as you would like. You have full bellies. It is warm. There's a nice sea breeze, and for once there aren't demons. Weirdly, the octopuses have somehow been the best friends you've made in a while.
Like 4 years, I think.
Yeah. This might be the first NPCs you've ever genuinely liked. That
Gunther.
didn't sell you drugs.
They're nice. They give us fish.
Also, tomorrow I plan to ask for drugs.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, octopuses probably have some really good shit.
Yeah,
I'd imagine
they
so.
can change color. They've got to have some psychedelics.
So did anyone have anything else they wanted to do before taking their respective sleep?
No, I'm not going to offend our guests by having a snoop around and seeing if there's, any bones of previous human guests here. I'm just going to fall asleep by the fire, content in the knowledge that I am popular and well-liked.
Being that the blue octopus wasn't that bright, I'll pass maybe a few Torag tracks to the green one before settling in.
It also eats them. All right. Fendingo, you're in the hut for the night. Bjorg,
Yeah.
do you have anything you want to do before going to sleep?
No, man. Like he's just gonna do a last look around to make sure all is capiche. Then he'll probably bed down. Who knows when he's gonna get good sleep again?
All right, and that just leaves Klaus Richter and Ron Weasley Jeremy.
We are adorning our puppet with seashells. I'm adding them to my picture now.
All right, you can decorate your puppets before you bed down for the night. So people go to sleep, but it doesn't really matter who's on watch because you all get a perception.
Okay.
So much perception this episode.
Yeah.
It was going to be this or fighting, so this is the better one.
Klaus rolls a 22.
Arrow of the Gods gets a 16.
Bjorg gets a 7.
Brandon Firemaster gets an 11.
All right. So everybody except Bjorg awakens with the feeling of the ground shifting under them, like a rumble.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Fandango, Arrow of the Gods, and Klaus will be up or spun around in time to notice a huge looming shadow that has arrived from the forest. It's too dark to make out the specifics, but this thing is fucking gigantic. And then you can hear a voice. Actually, Klaus, you are going to get one extra. In addition to the giant looming shadow that is taking a ton of attention, you notice the trees rustling nearby. Something else big, but not as big as whatever the fuck that is. And then everybody who beat 15, so again, Fandango, Arrow, and Klaus, can hear a voice ring out. Mr. Persimmons, it seems we have some guests. Please, bring them forth. I do believe it is time to make introductions. And that is where we are going to end the episode for this week.
Fancy.
But do not fear, faithful listeners. As you know, this is not the end. While we are playing, we are doing a live blog over at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, and we like to take questions from those folks and answer them. But before we answer those questions, we have other questions we take in advance. You notice how complicated this has gotten over the times? From the Discord that is linked to our Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons, where they also get to ask questions. But we let them jump the line because, well, they pay for it, so it's fancy and special. So, Rick, why don't you find us some questions on that Discord?
Well, our very fancy and special friend Jen asks, have you ever written something into one of your books that's targeted at specific people, such as an inside joke you have with friends or something that you know will drive someone nuts?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
All the fucking time.
Does it count if I'm doing inside jokes for me?
Yeah. See, I do that a lot.
I tell you guys one of my favorite jokes I've written that I don't think anybody ever caught. Was Dig Bixby is a fake name one of my characters uses in a superhero related medium, and
Dig
I love
Bixby.
I love that joke, Dig Bixby, because if you flip the D and the B, it's Big Dixby.
Yes.
It's just a dick joke. And Bill Bixby was an actor who portrayed the Incredible Hulk. It's like a multi-layer superhero dick joke. I love it, and I don't know if anybody has ever spotted
You
it.
just writing that in your book, figured, Drew's going to love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I put Easter eggs in my books all the time. Some of it's for people who read other series. Some of it's just for people who read other authors that are friends of mine. All kinds of shit.
At least 3 different characters played by some of my players in various games I've run have made it into my books.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like my real life D&D group has made it into one of my books.
I've killed off 2 of you guys in my CNC stories. Not you personally, but your characters on here.
I think I may have killed 1 or 2 of you guys personally. I also killed, like, everybody I've played Magic or poker with.
So this is an interesting division. I go out of my way to never include anyone I've known in reality in my books, even in like a passing manner.
I use real people to influence the way I write book characters, but I've never specifically mocked anyone from real life in a book. No, I think most of my in-jokes are for me. That's quite sad now, say it out loud.
I'm right there with you, man. It was like when we did the whole in NPC or Spell Swords and Stealth number 4 when one of the lines just opens and it is straight up an 80s lyric remixed slightly. Like you gotta do the shit that makes you laugh, even if you're like, no one's gonna get this.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say almost every like novel I have out there has at least one instance of more than meets the eye in it.
Nice.
And that's for nobody but me.
Yeah, that's the great shit. Like the stuff that you hit when you're doing your review and it cracks you up. It's almost like little pops for yourself for when you're having to read back through it.
I put in the Doomsayer Journeys, I had 2 characters who were side characters who accompanied the main character whose only function was really to die as part of the story. And I called them Wiggs and Bedge instead of Biggs and Wedge, which are Star Wars character names that were frequently used in Final Fantasy games for side characters whose only function was to die alongside the main character. That is probably the deepest cut. I like this joke, and I don't really care if anyone else gets it, I've ever done. I think only one person's ever kind of pointed it out to me. But so that's the kind of level I will go to amuse myself in my own books.
God, now I just want to do like a ton of these because it's like, oh, finally an outlet.
Finally, all these jokes I've been laughing quietly to myself about over the years.
It's like now they're popping up. It's like I remember talking to my narrator about Tom and Jenny from 5 Minute Sherlock. I was like, is it too on the nose that it's a cat and mouse book and I named the primary antagonists Tom and Jenny?
Nope.
God, I love our job.
Drew's sitting at his computer, rubbing his hands together.
I mean, you're not far off. Like that's the trick, man. You got to find the things that make you happy in this job.
All right, we good with that one?
I think we have to cut it or we can just go on forever.
Yeah.
All right. Our friend Mork asks if you could if you could co-author with any other writer, living or dead, who would it be?
Dead.
That's a toughie.
No, I want James Patterson. I want that money.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like,
Stephen King would be fine too.
Yeah, I'll be the name beneath J.K. Rowling for a Harry Potter sequel. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I've got to go that direction too. I mean, all the writers that I truly admire, I wouldn't want to fuck up their shit. So it would have to be somebody I don't care that much about while still getting some benefit out of it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Paulo Coelho.
I say, Mork, next time you ask this thing, say who would you like to write with for the purposes of story, not how much fucking cash you're gonna make.
I will. He said living or dead, right? Dead's on the table. You go ahead, Bevan. I'm still thinking on mine.
I was gonna go with William Shakespeare. He's long dead. I get the brand recognition and all the royalties.
What would be great is like you resurrected Shakespeare and just gave him the critical failures series and just said, "Here, rewrite this in Shakespeare."
No,
it's already perfect Shakespeare language.
Yeah, I'll admit, like, I have nothing against it, but like, Ernest Hemingway has just this, like, this magical aura amongst writer folks. So it would be like, Ernest Hemingway and Rick Gualtieri, and it's just like all of his works just with a lot of dick jokes at it.
All right, I've got mine. Sir Terry Pratchett. Done and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. He'd be the guy I didn't want to write with for fear of destroying something I love.
See, that's I thought about Neil Gaiman, but I was like, his is just too much art. Like the words he uses, like the phrases, it's too much like looking at a museum piece. Like Terry Pratchett, like he could get dirty, he could have fun. Like I'm less worried about fucking things up. I feel like we could come together and find something like, he can carry me. It's okay. Whereas my flaws will be very evident in a Neil Gaiman book.
I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do one living and one dead. Living, I would kill or fuck anyone to work with Alan Moore. Because that level of weirdness would just be too much to pass up. And for dead, I'm going to go with legendary poet John Keats because it rhymes with cleats, and then we could be brass cleats.
Yeah. All right.
That's as good a reason as any.
Here lies one whose name is written brass, motherfucker.
You can knock some letters off the front and call it Ass Eats.
You know who I'd like to write with, actually? Somebody whose writing style I very much admired. She was Sue Townsend. She was famous for the Adrian Mole books. And she was a really naturalistic comedy writer who I think it would be fun to work with. There you go. I had a serious suggestion.
I'll throw a less famous one out there. Gordon Corman would be a real treat, just because like I grew up reading his books like for such a long time, and they were such a big influence on my style. So like, it's not obviously not as famous or anything, but just guy I've been reading since childhood, and that would mean a lot.
I'm going to throw out one more for that reason, and that's Robert E. Howard. I'd kill to write alongside Robert E. Howard.
All right, good question.
All right, here's a simple one. Our friend Caprice Ann asks, "What's your favorite cookie?"
What's our favorite cookie?
Are you coming to Authors and Dragons Con, and will you be bringing us whatever we respond? Because Snickerdoodles.
Peanut butter chocolate chip. I'm planting a flag. It's the combo of the two.
Yeah. I'd go for peanut butter or chocolate chip, but a combination peanut butter chocolate chip seems to tick both boxes quite adequately.
Here's the trick. I make my own shit.
I would hope nobody else shits for you.
I am deeply enamored of like those ginger molasses cookies.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's like, and you put a little, especially the Sunday places that'll heat one up and put some ice cream on it. Yeah.
Nice.
You ever put icing on a Snickerdoodle?
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
That sounds good.
So
So
good.
there's those places in the mall that'll sell you Snickerdoodle icing sandwiches.
Oh,
my God.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Yeah, it's called the Great American Cookie Company, and you can get chocolate chip cookie sandwiches, but dude, Snickerdoodle icing sandwiches. This is why I'm fat, motherfuckers.
Wait.
'Cause this
Do they
exists.
call them chocolate chip cookie sandwiches up there?
Yeah.
That's not what they call them down here.
They call them diabetes.
No, it's called a whoopie pie.
Oh, that sounds... I'm not biting into one of those, Jay.
I guess that's just a cultural thing. Yeah, two cookies slammed together with like ice cream or shit in the middle is usual or often, not as much, but like often, and definitely a Great American Cookie Company, I believe, called a whoopie pie.
It's a massive lack of self-awareness.
I was gonna say, that sounds like somebody drunk off their ass on moonshine asked for like 3 a.m. Yeah, give me one of them whoopie pies.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Yeah.
What state do you think I'm from again?
I mean, my favorite cookie is it's not really a type of cookie, it's just more of an amount. You know, there's like huge birthday cookies you get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Instead of a cake, you just get a huge cookie.
No one's ever bought me one of them.
Oh,
And
man,
I've never had one. I've had bits of other people's, but I just want one of them and to not have to share it with anyone.
All right. Well, I guess we know what to order for Steve at Authors and Dragons Con because those are not expensive. I'm pretty sure we can get you that for $20.
I have I'm not an ambitious man, Drew. Very easily pleased.
All right. Well, join us for that panel at Authors and Dragons Con where we make Steve's dream come true, and then you watch him have to eat the whole thing.
Oh, God, that's
You just
awesome.
Watch me eat cookie until I feel sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, there's dozens of cookies I like. You know, even if you look at me, that's pretty obvious. But I'll just go back to classic. You know, a fresh home baked chocolate chip cookie. I don't want raisins in it. I don't want peanut butter in it. I don't want anything in it. I just want a chocolate chip cookie, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, I don't look it, but I'm not a big sweets guy. I don't even remember the last time I ate a cookie. But I do. I guess the cookie I most fondly remember, if I have to dig back, is I like the chewy Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, chocolate chip cookies should definitely be chewy.
Well, yeah, but when I was a kid, I'd just like eat a whole column of those chewy Chips Ahoy. Oh,
I have an urge for freshly baked chocolate chip cookies now. But a massive one in a box just for me.
I really want to make that panel happen now, and I suspect it'll be our most popularly attended one.
Just fucking sitting in silence while I gorge myself.
Yeah. Just one camera on you up close, and a runner bringing you milk.
at a big can of nasty ass weird Pringles.
What?
It's a tradition now.
Yeah, I gotta-
Every year I must eat a can of ludicrously flavored Pringles.
It's in just a giant cookie and like ball sweat flavored Pringles.
At least we
Wow.
didn't keep cold Taco Bell as part of it.
I was just about to say ball sweat. That's weird.
I don't think I'm going to make it to Korea this year. I'm going to have to find a new Pringles hookup.
Yeah, if the tube you give me is like slightly opened and has the label scratched off and just something you've written it in fucking marker pen, I'm probably still going to eat it.
Yeah.
What exactly is a Klaus Pringle?
All right, Drew, have you not seen
Why are these damp?
Steve Eats Pringles videos on our channel?
I think I have.
Oh, all right. The last one was sweet mayo and cheese.
Oh, I think I missed that one.
What was the first one? A cola flavored, yeah.
It wasn't even sweet mayo and cheese. It was just sweet mayo cheese.
Oh, God. If that's not a plug for the Authors and Dragons YouTube channel, I don't know what is.
It's all this quality content you're missing out on, guys. Watch me eat disgusting crisps.
We got that. We've got me and Steve incompetently streaming World of Warcraft.
We're all about doing bad ideas badly on this channel.
It's a bonanza of shit. That's what we do.
Bonanza shit.
Shitnanza.
Do you want to move over to the Facebook?
Yeah, we should probably take another question.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Our friend Jesse says, "What is one skill each of you wants to develop?"
Writing.
That's true.
I'd like to learn woodworking. I don't know shit about it. I can barely hold a saw straight.
Yeah. All right, yeah, there you go. I'd like to become competent at all with like doing anything around the house. Oh, it's so horrible.
I've tried it. It's fucking. I tried to fit a bathroom the other year. I managed to do like most of it, but it was hard work and very unrewarding, and I shan't be doing it again. So no, I don't want to develop those skills.
Well, if you develop the skills, it won't be as hard of work.
That's so they tell me, but I've been put off by the attempt.
And you have to suck at it to get good at it, so fuck that.
I'd rather just suck at it and pay someone else to do it.
That's where I am.
Yeah, as much as like, I really should like, grab a useful skill like, electrician or plumber or something, I'm going to go selfish and say like, I would love to ingest like JLD's power and make it my own.
I would love to get good at painting minis.
If we're talking ingesting powers, then yeah. Sorry, JLD. I love your work, but I'm going to steal your soul. I'd do nothing but make comic books and fucking animations and shit. If I had that kind of talent, it'd be great.
Oh, we are lucky to have that guy.
Oh yeah. But like, it's really a good thing that the whole concept of like, like eat the hearts of your enemies and gain their powers isn't a real thing.
Yeah.
Because I would almost certainly be a serial killer.
I'd have a lot of dead friends.
I think I would go for like sound editing as a skill, like the ability to compose music digitally, because as we have covered many times, ain't never going to happen with my voice. But like, the capacity to do remixes and create like a jingle or something, I feel like that would come in fairly handy for as much audio work as we do.
Yeah.
And it would be the only type of music creation I would ever be capable of, so that would be neat.
Yeah, that'd be good. Again, if we're talking ingesting the talents of people who trust us by eating their hearts. Yeah, music would be my second choice after radical artwork.
Yeah, I'd like to play an instrument.
I can play an instrument, just not well.
Yeah, I
You know,
can't do fuck all musically.
I'd like to have a kind of Charlie Day level of musical competence. Again, purely so I can just sing annoying songs.
I really had to mentally double check. I was like, wait, Charlie Day? Oh, you gave me a pause there.
I don't want to be like, an actual musician. I just want to sing annoying songs at people more efficiently than I can now.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Here's a good one. Our friend Stephanie says, if you could assign all high school to read a book to enhance their love of reading, what would you pick aside from your own, and what classic would you toss out?
All right, somebody pick mine. I'll pick one of yours.
A book to enhance their love of reading. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the classic I would toss out, Tale of Two Cities, no doubt about it. It would be gone, crossed off the classics list, never seen again.
It's a good one. Throw the Scarlet Letter in the fucking trash while you're at it. That's my get rid of.
Oh, fuck that book, man.
Yeah, absolute piece of shit. I wanted to invent time travel to go back and find Nathaniel Hawthorne and beat my 3 hours out of him.
Yeah, I would have to. I'd hold his arms. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a line of high school students with time travel beating the shit out of Nathaniel Hawthorne. Oh. Meanwhile, Benjamin Franklin stole a time machine and is growing weed on the moon.
See, I could at least understand that that book, but I had in college I had to read Women in Love, and that it was not porn, except for like there are like a bunch of dudes wrestling naked, I think. But anyway, I didn't get most of what was going on, and it was boring as shit. That's the one I'll take away.
I was pretty lucky in school with books. I think we were assigned Roddy Doyle, who's ace, and the classic was Thomas Hardy. It was difficult, but fun, or at least suitably snide. But so I don't know which one I'd chuck out, but if it's all about love of reading for the sake of reading and the written word, it would be the Gormenghast trilogy by Mervyn Peake, because I don't think there's as fine an artist with prose as he. Yeah, you either love that kind of halfway point between prose and poetry, or you don't. And the Gormenghast trilogy is a great way to find out if you do or not.
I can think of no reason why every college student should not read Hitchhiker's Guide.
That was exactly
God damn it,
what I
Rick,
was
that
going
was
to
going
say.
to. Yeah, me too.
I knew one of you guys was going to pick that one. I didn't even...
I was going to go, but like in middle school, because that's when I read it. And if that was assigned reading, that would have been awesome. Because half the kids have, well, not half, maybe a quarter of the kids have read it already. And it's like, oh wow, we get our nerd time to shine in middle school, and I don't know. I mean, you can share this experience with new people, and it's fun. And I could imagine like having a classroom discussion about that.
I was going to suggest Terry Pratchett, but we were actually assigned Terry Pratchett in year 7. I guess we would have been about 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it was his kid stuff. It was kind of, when you have to do activities around a book
Yeah.
for like a year. To encourage the love of reading, ironically, was, the Truckers and Diggers series.
That was exactly my point, and you got to live it. Good for you.
I would take out The Pearl by John Steinbeck, because that was what I had to read. I never had to read The Scarlet Letter, but I had to read a lot of John Steinbeck, and The Pearl made me borderline suicidal with boredom. And I will die on this fucking hill. Anyone who's heard me start talking about books has heard this line from me. I would have children read the fucking Revenge of the Sith novelization, because that book is incredible. You're gonna read. You're gonna sit in that chair, Jimmy, and you're gonna read that fucking Star Wars book, and you're gonna come out love reading, or you're gonna come out a soulless monster.
But I don't like Anakin on the movies.
No, the book is so much better.
Fuck off! It's not the same canon!
Fuck off and read the book, Jimmy. It jumps around. It breaks so many rules. It does things you should not be able to do, but work.
But she died of a broken heart.
It changes POV in mid-chapter, and it somehow fucking works. I don't know how the hell he does this, but Matthew Stover is incredible.
Hey, you're not supposed to do that? Whoopsie.
I don't know. Conventional wisdom says no, but clearly so many of us break that, so...
Oh, I've fucked off with all those rules so many years ago. I've got one for love of reading. Lamb by Christopher Moore. Not only one of my all-time favorite comedy books, one of the absolute masterclasses in character work, in taking a story that everybody knows and still finding ways to imbue heart and interest and just life into these old, like literally biblically old characters, like to the point where like when it gets to the crucifixion, because of course it does, because it's the story of Jesus still, like it's genuinely like heartbreaking, because you're like, it's not a character, it's Josh, like this guy you've been reading about for all these things, and it's still funny, hilarious at times, and heartbreaking at times, and it's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I can't think of anything to get rid of. I think the only books, I was pretty lucky with books at my school, but I think the only books I had problems with, I didn't dislike them, was Chaucer Canterbury Tales and Romeo and Juliet, which is not really a book, I suppose, but I think it's just because I came at them too young. I would have liked to have gone at them a bit older.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Romeo and Juliet was going to be my strike, because I think it's one of the weaker of Shakespeare's plays. And it's not a fucking love story. It's a story about teenagers making shitty decisions. So
we did have that rammed home to us, like, you shitty teenagers, don't be shitty.
Yeah,
I
feel like that's a good lesson if you get the lesson. Like, in America, we kind of skate over that too much.
Yeah. And then I'd replace it with Fool by Christopher Moore, which is his parody of King Lear from the court jester's perspective, which not only is incredible and funny and full of heart, but also introduced me to the word fuck stockings, which I use all the time now.
I see, we did King Lear, but we did it when I was about 16, and I think that was, for me,
reasonable.
Not a quick learner. That was the right age to do it, but kind of late 14, doing Romeo and Juliet and Chaucer just did not fucking sink in. I would have much rather have done them later on in life. So I wouldn't strike any of them, but I'd say maybe save it till the later years.
All right, we can probably do one more, Joe.
All right, let's see here. Okay, I got a fun one. Our friend Nick says, what's a decision you made when angry, sad, overly emotional, etc., but did not regret later? I got a Triforce tattoo on my left pec after a fight with my boss in 2014, and it started a shoulder of gaming-related tattoos. Hey, you go, Nick. That sounds pretty cool.
Nice.
I thought that was Joe's answer for a second.
No, that wasn't me. I don't know.
That's also tattoos. Cool, Nick.
Did his boss just hate The Legend of Zelda? Or?
I'll show you.
That'll show him.
I'll get this tattoo where my boss will probably never see it, so...
I'll teach you to be a Sega kid, so-called boss. A decision that was made in anger...
Or high emotion or whatever. An emotional decision, I guess, that was maybe not well advised, but that you didn't regret.
I don't think there's a single decision in my life that couldn't have been improved by me not being emotional about it. I think I made far more bad decisions in the cusp of emotion than I have in the cusp of indifference.
I can do one. I can buy us some time. It's a very appropriate one to this podcast, which is about Authors and Dragons, because it was when I had just made the jump sort of into writing full time. My contract job ran out in the sense that it was a job we were doing, and if you do it well, then there's no more job to do, like building a house, but I just can't get into specifics. So it came to an end in June of 2013, and it was a really good one. I knew I wasn't going to find something similar in the Office world, and so I was really like, I should think about trying to make the full-time jump, but I was also kind of hesitant, so I went into an interview elsewhere, and it just made me feel so deep down ill, like just emotional just reaction to like being in that kind of environment, like not the one I had left, but like another shitty, cramped, like you can just read it on the walls thing, that I just like, I walked out immediately afterward. I threw away the card. I never looked back. I was like, fuck it, I'm betting everything on this writing thing, and I don't regret it, but it was definitely like an emotional, that was when I hit my commitment point of, I'm not fucking going back.
On a less deep note, back in college, I remember had some arguing about like spending money wisely, and I said, I was like, screw you, and I went to like the mall and I bought myself a Sega Genesis, and I did not regret being able to play Mortal Kombat, although I probably might have regretted not being able to afford food for most of that semester.
I've got one. I kissed the girl, and we've been married for 12 years.
Yeah, my wife and I got pissed off and got married, so that's worked out for the last 25 years.
When I was wrapping up my college, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I liked this girl, and she said she was going to go overseas and teach English, and yeah, I didn't follow her because it didn't work out, but that did just plant the seed in my head. Well, I could do that, and I did, and that led to me working in Korea, which led to me getting a job with my own office and a bunch of free time in between classes, and that led to me starting to write books, and that led to me thinking, man, I hate teaching, and if I keep writing, I might be able to get out of it.
I've just realised that me, because Joe brought up relationships there, and me saying I've never made like a good emotional decision in my life. It's like, I didn't just like indifferently get married or, indifferently conceive my child. That was, they were probably emotional decisions to pay.
We will get married now. Well. Now we will conceive child.
Also, that Korea thing led to the wife and kids too, so I don't want to downplay that. It wasn't just, the only benefit wasn't, getting out of my job.
I suppose probably the same for all of us with the writing as well. I know that I was in a down place when I started writing a book and couldn't really find a steady job, but kind of failed at making my way in a new town. I think writing the book was kind of a fuck you to the universe. Is that an emotion?
Oh, it
sounds great.
Fuck you to the universe is
strong
1,000% an emotion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. My first novel was written purely on spite.
Yeah.
It worked out okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's spite. Can you be spiteful to the fates in general? Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
1,000%. There's entire Greek tragedies built around that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ultimate spite. Art. The ultimate spite.
Spite classic.
Spite classic. Nice. Spite Club.
Spite.
Welcome to Spite Club. The first rule of Spite Club.
Fuck you.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do us for this episode of Authors and Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week with a side quest, and then again in 2 weeks with another episode of Authors and Dragons. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
I might exist more than most people.